Mike Maignan or bust? Let's talk about it. All right, Chelsea fans, here's the deal. You know I'm going to be coming in hot when it comes to goalkeepers and all things related to the position. You know this already. I don't need to get into it. Best position, best athletes on the field. Obviously, it's no longer even up for debate. So instead of discussing why this is an important position, let's just go ahead and talk about how fed up you are with mistakes, errors leading to goal, inexperience, penny pinching to try to buy a goalkeeper for the future when we don't have them for now. All of you, yes, great, fantastic. Then we should be talking about France's number one, who's heavily linked with a move to Stamford Bridge, Mike Maignan. Now, is he the savior or are there better options out there, right? We should not just be hyper-focused, but look at the field and what we have and see what we think. So let's get into this one. All right, well, breaking this down, I'm very excited about a goalkeeper, only because it is the most obvious position that needs upgrading, maybe bar striker with Nkunku most likely to leave. This position continuously frustrated us fans all season long, and if the co-sporting directors weren't looking at making a real move here after they've just made half moves the last 2 seasons, I would have been probably completely out on whatever project they deemed they were doing. So not only is Maignan in there, there's Kelleher, there's Trafford, and a couple others, but I don't want to get too far down the crazy list as we do this. Yes, Marcin Bulka is also potentially being linked with Chelsea. Interesting. Not that he's bad, just we had him. We tried that. So Enzo Maresca's backline, we're leaking goals this season. Is a world-class number one? Is Maignan even world-class? These are all the things we got to figure out. We're in the Champions League next season. So while we got away with, I would say, very average goalkeepers, it will not work at all next season if we are going to actually participate in the Champions League and do something. So let's make the case for Mike Maignan, right? He's got a 76% save percentage, 12 clean sheets last season. Had an assist to Pulisic, which is always fun. And so beyond kind of the baseline statistics, he's AC Milan's captain, France's number one. The leadership that this player will bring into a largely leaderless locker room cannot be understated, right? You are starting to see some people pick up the pieces when Reece James isn't fit. It was good to see him be fit at the end of the season, but having somebody that's at this stature within world football is what we used to come to expect from Chelsea players, right? Back in the 2010s and even the run up to recently into the 2020s. The national team leader, the number one for one of the best teams in the world, already captaining AC Milan. Like, these are the intangibles that are so crucial, especially for a goalkeeper. So he's got reflexes. He's got the leadership, played in 36 Serie A games, kept 12 clean sheets. 76% of the shots he faced, he saved. On the flip side, we had Sanchez. If you pull out his worst moments with 5 errors leading to goals this season, the worst in the Premier League. On the flip side, having the second best save percentage in the Premier League. The problem is you just don't know what you're going to get. With Maignan, he's not just a shot stopper. He is a playmaker with 84% pass accuracy and 6.5 long balls per game. I can only imagine that is hugely important to the co-sporting directors and probably Enzo Maresca as well as they look to find the next player. The whole point of Sanchez getting the nod in the beginning was that he was better with his feet. And that's why Petrovic went on loan to Strasbourg and did extremely well for them. So again, we're going back to a Kepa sweeper keeper to see what we're going to do. He's won Serie A, he's won Ligue 1, and he's already played in the Champions League. That experience and the history of winning domestic leagues, again, massively important. Not a lot of that in the squad. Yes, we did just win Conference League, but these are much bigger. And when you win a league and it's over 38 matches in a season, completely different than knockout football. One concern there is that not a lot of Serie A goalkeepers have made the transition to the Premier League. You're going from a much more defensive, tactical, slower paced league in Italy to a fast paced, vertical game, much more open, leading to, I could see him coming off his line way too often, getting caught in no man's land and making mistakes. He's going to have to handle crosses. The physicality is much, much more significant. And then there's always just the media pressure and the fan pressure when players don't perform here. So, look, I think that he's probably an 8 out of 10 for six if he was going to be successful. If you let him play for 2 years, he's elite, but I don't think he's world class. Where I think he's a good fit is for exactly where we are in our project. We need an elite goalkeeper. We're not ready for world class. We are working our way back there for 25 million pounds. What a steal. I don't want to hear about one last year in his contract and all these nickel and diming for 15 million. Get the deal done and moved on. We all remember when we nickel and dimed over Alisson Becker and went to Liverpool. We ended up spending through the absolute roof for Kepa. How did that work out? So I don't know. You tell me, what do you think? Is he elite? Is he world class? Is he the missing piece? I don't know. But again, why this is important is because we're in a mess. We're in a goalkeeper's mess. Again, Sanchez has been a liability with his 5 errors leading to goals. Jorgensen's only 21. He's talented, maybe, right? But he's raw. Then you've got Georgi Petrovic, who's out on loan, who had an extremely good season. But again, grading scale, Ligue 1, right? Then you've got youngster Mike Penders, who's going to join in 2025, but he's years away for starting from Chelsea, or is he? So how do you piece all of these things together? Because the way I look at it is you can't bring in Maignan without having an exit plan with Sanchez. He's not going to fight for the number 1. He believes he's earned the number 1 for next season. So not only are you going to pick up a goalkeeper on your books, you have to move at least one out, potentially 2. I don't see you carrying Maignan, Sanchez, Jorgensen, and Petrovic, obviously, right? Do you put Petrovic on loan again, or did he have such a good season you can sell him, so at least he's a sellable asset? Do you really want Jorgensen being your backup again next season as you're being more competitive in the Premier League? He's not going to be able to play in the UEFA Conference League. You're not going to put him in the Champions League. So his minutes are going to be extremely limited, where a loan probably makes more sense for him. I don't know how they're going to balance this very, I would say, average goalkeeping squad when most of these players need minutes. I think Sanchez is the only one where you know what you're going to get from him and what his ceiling is, and it's not anywhere good enough for Chelsea. You saw something in Jorgensen, you saw something in Petrovic, but you're not going to give them chance to get minutes. So they're not going to develop, and it doesn't make sense. So it's going to be a very messy, I think, goalkeeping dressing room this summer, but something the co-sporting directors have to figure out. Now, if you don't go with Maignan because, again, you're nickel and diming, and I think that is absolutely crazy, you do have James Trafford coming from Burnley. He was at Man City. He's 22, so he knows Maresca. He had 10 clean sheets in the championship. Is he going to make it into the Premier League for 20 to 30 million? No. Then you've got Chevalier from Lille, the 23 young gun France U21 star, probably going to go to Villa for 20 million. Unproven. Does that really take a step up from where we're at? No. So I look around at these big bets on Suzuki at Parma, who's 22, Japan's rising star, and then Svilar at Roma, who's 24. None of these other goalkeepers we're linked to get the job done today. We've bet the entire club on the future of all these outfield players. Give us some stability at the back, because my word, do we need it? So at the end of the day, I don't know why there's so much pain over 25 million. Tell me what I'm missing in the comments, right? Like, Is he the number one goalkeeper in the world and we need to do everything in our power to get him? No. But he's 29, playing for one of the best national teams in the world. He's a captain. He's won his league multiple times. This makes sense on so many levels. Chelsea want to finesse over the 1 year. He's only got 1 year left in his contract. Look, Italian clubs have fleeced Premier League clubs on transfers. This doesn't feel like we're getting fleeced, especially if you look at other players coming from the Premier League who are way less experienced and they're between 20 and 30 million. Again, help me out. What am I missing? Right? Anyways, tell me in the comment section who you think Chelsea's next number one is going to be next season. While I would like it to be Maignan, I don't have a lot of trust in the team to get this done. So all I'm going to say is not Robert Sanchez. But hey, I could be wrong. And let me know. Again, really, really interested. But overall, if you can go get Maignan for $25 million, you absolutely do it. I think within 2 years, he's an 8 out of 10. Easy for Chelsea. Based on the playing system with Maresca and the young squad and everything we have, checks a lot of boxes we don't have. So anyways, until next time, Chelsea fans, you know what to do. Keep the blue flag flying high.